Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is a roster update video, and this is a big one. We're looking at unlocks and marquee characters, major project progress towards those characters like Balin SKOLL or GL Ahsoka, then Crons, that's for Datacrons and Omicrons. Then addressing any weaknesses, whether that be related to territory battles, grand arena, ships, or raids. And from our bird's eye view, you can see a number of characters have green, but nothing more important than Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Put him off for a long time. This is mostly thanks to Tract, who did give me a gift of this. And that was... that could have been a year ago. I don't know, whenever that went live. I wanted to feel like I had earned it. And I like to play with fewer GLs than my opponents, so I just didn't want to unlock him until either the game mandated it or until I felt like I had accrued enough resources or enough time passed to feel like it was deserved. Because for me, shortcuts aren't as much fun. I don't like to do them. But now we have them. And with Darkside Ray, we just can't really afford to put him off. But we had actually already started the ticket farm prior to the announcement of Darth Ray. So he is activated. We're not going to show all of this on screen because it just takes time, but we are just going to do a couple of those items. But before we start dropping gear, I want to do our Hoard overview because we have built up a sizable war chest preparing for these major projects. We are working towards Balin SKOLL and GL Ahsoka in these columns. This first column here is taking care of SLKR, Darkside Ray, all of our conquest characters, including Ezra in Exile, who's incomplete at this stage. I've also thrown in Plo Koon here because we don't have him 100% confirmed, even though he's like 90 to 99% confirmed as an Ahsoka requirement. We don't make assumptions, but he's a character I wouldn't mind at Relics anyway, so he is accounted for towards these numbers. This is to be considered a heat map, so I can get a bird's eye view, very quickly assess what things I should be buying or not buying. And as you can see here, most everything is in surplus except for these Mark 12 fusion furnaces that are actually in a really strong spot because you don't see any color in this range, which means I have everything I need in regards to that material for Balin and GL Ahsoka. Now, what I am not in a good position with is signal data. A little bit bronzium wiring, but during double drops, I picked up a lot of those materials that can be converted into bronzium wirings while I was going after chiroprods. That's how I was using my light side, dark side energy. With my fleet energy, I was splitting it between med packs, hypos, and Nubian scanners, but prioritizing the med packs and Nubian scanners because they're used at higher rates. Cantina energy, that was all thrown at the flawed signal data. Even though I need a lot of the other ones, they drop at a high enough rate where I don't mind being a little bit slower with those. But we don't get a lot of opportunities for double drops, so I go after the flawed. You want as many of those as you can because they don't drop at sufficient enough rates. Everything else here though, by the time that these events return or that the characters are farmed up, I will have what I need. You can see Electrium Conductors, I only need 30 more. That's not a big deal. By the time those shards are farmed on those characters or they become farmable, we're going to be good. As I work through my way through the rest of this event, I'm just going to take them to Gear 11 right now. One of the things I like to do is to showcase if these events are completable or not at a Gear 11 level, also with minimal zetas. And because there's no penalty now for failure, we're definitely going to be taking my time. Now, by the time that Grand Arena starts up, this will likely be changed. I don't know if I'll be taking up to Relics or how quickly I'll be taking him up to Relics, especially without the ultimate ability. We'll see where we get. Because I'm not going crazy on the energy refreshes. I'm not doing the 100 crystal refreshes. I was during the Double Drop event. That's over now. I'm just doing 50s until one that I refill a lot of my crystals from having just unloaded basically 10,000 during double drops. But also because since this is not a character he would definitely help, but because I've been doing okay without him, I'm not gonna rush it. We did the same thing with Sith Eternal Emperor. We took our time, tried to save resources while working on those unlocks. Now with our marquees and major projects, we've got a lot of changes here. One of those is we were able to finish up Captain Enoch Enoch with those double drops, although I think I was like 12 shards away by the time that double drop started. Now he is at at 7 stars, and we're got to make a decision now about how far we're going to bring these characters up, because obviously we can't have Sabine or Huyang, so we're not going to be able to get GL Ahsoka ready, so we don't want to go too far. But when we're looking at Datacrons, I do have the Captain Enoch Cron ready, also the Morgan Elsbeth Cron ready. I always try to make sure I have those available to me just in case by the end of the lifespan of these Crons I can take advantage, even if for a month. And in the case of these characters, that is the case, because Great Mother, we're also done farming as well, so she's going up to 7 stars. With the double drops, we pushed Shinhati as much as I could. I even did the 100 crystal refreshes on her node. It's part of the reason we depleted ourselves so much in crystals, but we were able to get her up to 5 stars. So a nice, strong push. Hopefully going to make Conquest a whole lot easier, because she was dying a whole lot while I was working on Conquest during that first week with her at 3 stars. Just to see it for the footage so that I could show you guys those videos are out. But now she's at 5 stars. We're in a good position. She is the only active farm, although we're probably getting at least Merrick this week, possibly also the punishing one. Over here in this spot, we have a Zeta I could drop, but it's a Soldier of Fortune mechanic, and it just feels like without Balin's Skull, I don't need to be prioritizing that. But one thing I do want to do is take a number of these characters up to relics. One, Great Mother, we're going to take her up to relics right now so that we can take advantage of those Crons and make this squad a bigger threat. Also make Conquest a whole lot easier, because the biggest thing that has slowed me down in Conquest is the stamina being completely depleted on this squad, because it's like 4 of the sectors have them as a sector feat. So I'm not going to go too far because I don't have a ton of signal data. It is designated for these characters, but I still have like a deficit of 1,000. So I'm just taking her up to Relic 3 so that the Cron can be applied. We don't have the Great Mother Cron, we didn't whale out, so we just are going to be applying it to Morgan, and she's already at Relic 5. But that means we are going to be doing the same to the Night Trooper. Night Trooper is now going up to relics, and we're going to take the Night Trooper up to Relic 3 so that we can use the Enoch Cron. Although we could consider some of these other ones. I think we have the Judge Death Cron. So Judge Death could technically go up to Relic 5, but we're not going to do that. At least not this week. The Enoch Cron, I feel like, is pretty clearly better. You don't need to overthink any of these things. And he goes Relic 3 as well. I feel like these audio levels might be a little high. And we're still good with the signal data. I'm sure we have more than enough for what I want to do today, but I'm not really sure what position we're in. And then here's the last one. At least the last one that I'm planned for. We may do more. And then Relic 5 on what's his name from The Expanse. Which, if you guys haven't seen The Expanse, that show is so good. I might read those books to see what happens when it jumps time forward. Because the show, it stops at a certain point, and then the books go decades ahead when the characters are older, which creates logistical issues for the show, although told a pretty good and complete story. All right, we got Enoch, so that's 2 sets of Crons ready for the next Grand Arena. I really want CG to tell me if Plo is a requirement. 100% confirmed, because I do have the Plo Cron as well, and not utilizing it out for some reason is... Things would be a whole lot easier if I just allowed myself the Plo Cron. But let's say they make Cup the requirement, and then I have to do Cup, and I've already used a bunch of resources on Plo. That's going to annoy me. Huyang's our most recent Marquee. We are taking him up to Gear 11, as we do with all of our Marquee releases, but you don't even need him at Gear 11 for the Conquest. I've already done it. We will put on the Omega, of course. This Zeta, yeah, that one's going to be good. Now that I have looked at Hera's kit, this is actually going to synergize well with Hera, because multiple instances of damage triggers something in her kit. This Ami we will ignore, and this Zeta is critical, so we are absolutely putting that one on. He's just not going to do what he's supposed to do without it. This is like a major function Zeta. We'll quickly put on all of this junk. At this point, none of this gear is a concern, and we're good. This roster video is going to be Frankenstein together. Between forgetting about things and getting new updates from CG, with the most recent one being Plo Koon. We have not done this in one sitting like we usually do, but Plo Koon has been announced in that latest update as the final requirement, which was almost certain before because of some of the other things they've released, but I wasn't going to put any resources on them until it was 100%. And this is what I've been waiting for, because I do have the Plo Koon Cron. So it means we are definitely taking up to Relic 5, and it's why I'm even doing this right now, so that I can actually take advantage of that Cron in Grand Arena, because we're doing Grand Arena sign up right now, because it is an excellent Cron. But with where I am with signal data, it's not something I just wanted to do unless I knew I wouldn't have preferred to put it elsewhere. So here we have them Relic 5, and that is a big improvement. Do I care about this at all? I guess we probably will use that a little bit in the raid. We'll throw it on. Well, you can see we're in a pretty good place now for GL Ahsoka. We are just farming the Marquees. We are done with several Marquees, have brought them up to a level. We're waiting on General Syndulla. We are going to be prioritizing Balin, but I'm feeling good about where we're at. And we have already put together the General Syndulla kit breakdown video. And if you are not going after GL Ahsoka, I would still consider General Syndulla, because there's a lot I like about her kit and her leadership, where you can put together a squad that I would not be surprised is going to be semi-usable and interesting. Oh, I might Frankenstein this video up together more. I think I'm going to want her to be at Gear 11 before Grand Arena lock-in tomorrow. With the new release structure on these Marquee characters, we are making a number of changes. We're going to have to completely adjust how we do these roster videos so that we can incorporate the gearing for these Marquee releases immediately, because now we can actually utilize them in Grand Arena prior to lock-in, and that is something I'm absolutely taking advantage of. So you can see how I normally handle these characters. Normally I'm taking them up all right away. Gear-wise, I'll take them up usually for the purposes of videos. I'll take them up to like the first Kairos, and we're just going to take her straight up. I think she's 150 Kairos to Gear 11, but right now we are going all the way so that we can do some testing in this week's Grand Arena, because she has very interesting leadership. I would not be surprised if she's going to be good even prior to GL Ahsoka. I think for newer accounts she could be completely legitimately a usable character. You can check out my kit breakdown video where I talked about her leadership ability. I think it's a very good one. Like, I think it'll be superseded by GL Ahsoka when she's added to the game, but in the meantime, or for newer accounts that start up after this, there might be plenty of reason to go after her and have her for just normal play purposes. I get the feeling that that leadership is going to be that effective. I don't think we're going to take the time to do this the slow way. I think we're going to speed things up a little bit, but definitely putting on an Omega. And we make a cut so that you guys don't have to see the slow stuff, but that's powerful. This ability I think is going to be very strong. It's the fracture ability, but okay, so just an Omega on the leadership. And here, this Omicron, I talk more about it in the kit video. It sounds very good and interesting, but I would wait for GL Ahsoka, because it's something where I think this is going to be better with the leadership ability. I don't know if I'm going to be as interested in having this under GL Ahsoka lead. Maybe you still will, but I think that's going to depend entirely on the specifics of Ahsoka's kit. But check out this week's Grand Arena, where we will be taking her for a spin and see what we can do. I do like to do my low gear, low star testing. Datacrons. We're going to do a little bit of work here for this video, not too much. We have a lot of the Crons that I've been targeting, like Mercenaries. Django is the only one that I don't have that I would like. With unaligned Force users, I now have most of what I'm looking for, Jolie being an Old Republic, but Starkiller we're still hunting for, so that's what we're working on right now. We've got this Relic 7 to take up and see if we get lucky, otherwise we'll re-roll. I don't think I have too many re-roll mats. Yeah, we already have Grand Inquisitor, so we'll go for one re-roll. No luck there, but I'll select Kylo, because I guess we'll take that one, and then we'll try and do one more re-roll. Alright, we'll keep the Kylo, and we'll keep working on that other one. We'll see how many mats I have. I don't think I have enough to slice all the way up right now, but we have a dark side Cron here. We can take this up as far as we can. I think we'll get around to like 7 or 8, depending on what this 6 is. Give me unaligned. Yeah, I think we're going to stop there for now. I don't want to re-roll at that level. We'll check if we get any dark sides, but we don't have enough to go up to 9 right now. Yeah, we'll just take the rest of these up to Relic 3. I'm hoping to get a better, did I say Relic 3? Level 3. Hoping to get a better Level 3 dark side like this. This is better, I can work with this. Just to minimize the re-rolling that we'll have to do. I mean, I might still re-roll it at that point, but... Alright, that's what we can do. We have most of what we want. I think 3 more level 9s. 2 more. If I get 8th Brother and Star Killer, and then I just need to re-roll one of these Shin Hadis into Django, is what I'm hoping for. We just take another Mercenary Cron up to level 9 for that, and then I want to just fill out the counts. So we still have a lot of work to do, but we got another week in Conquest to try and get as many as possible. And as I record this, it's Sunday, so hopefully before Grand Arena starts, we do find that Star Killer Cron. And we almost had a major oversight. With all this work that we've done with Great Mother and Morgan Elsbeth and Datacrons, I need to actually take Spirit and Acolyte up to Relic 3 so that I can actually use the Datacron. So I'm glad I remembered this at the last moment. I am not going to take Talia up to Relic 3 or someone else. I could take Asajj away from a Telzine squad, but I don't want to do that. So my plan for at least this first week is to undersize the squad, so offense only. And I think that should be more than sufficient. It's already a strong squad. The Datacron is just going to make it all the better. And the week after, if that doesn't work, then we'll reconsider. And before we wrap up, I did progress further within the SLKR event. It did require me to invest some more resources. So all those incremental investments we're just going to tag on at the end before our outro. I've been working my way through the event. We were able to do tier 4 like this at gear 11, no Zetas. But we're going to take them up to gear 12 because tier 5, we're going to need that survivability, and what I'm starting to figure out is a few of these Zetas are going to be pretty important. They would have helped through tier 4, but they seem to be required for tier 5. We're going to drop on the left side gear pieces because those are going to add some survivability, but I'm going to leave the right side pieces off, and we're going to put on the first of these Zetas. I tried it for a little bit with just this Zeta, just the stun, but now that I'm getting a little bit more familiar with the mechanics, I'm understanding which additional Zetas matter. And now I definitely want this basic Zeta, get this additional damage because we're not really doing enough damage, and I think it's going to be pretty important to get this Siphon Mastery doubled. So this is a Zeta I'm willing to put on right now as well. But the rest of the Zetas, I don't think they apply to the event. I'm going to hold off on the leader one, but maybe that additional survivability is going to matter. For the moment, I don't think I need it. And we are going to add the leadership Zeta. Just think that extra turn meter might be valuable, and maybe a little bit of the extra damage. Because at gear 12, like SLKR himself is just not doing much. Tier 5, we were able to do at gear 12 4 Zetas. The leadership Zeta I tried leaving off. It was pretty critical. It was night and day after I put that one on. And after fooling around with tier 6, it's just clear that the damage output is not going to be there without the relics. We're going to take them up to Relic 3 and see if we can do it there. I've heard tier 4 is the minimum on the tier 6, but we'll just go to tier 3 and check it out from there. And then we'll maybe consider a Zeta at this point. I think we'll probably play it first. And we will inch it forward at tier 4, but this is where we're stopping because I've heard it's doable at this level. Tier 3, we're definitely doing better, but still shy on the damage. That's as far as we go. We made a lot of major progress this video. We're going to have 2 extra Crons ready to go for next Grand Arena. We have now our 7th GL in SLKR, though we need to push him a little further. Probably the next video we'll be taking him up to Relic 7 for the Ultimate Journey event. And then we're just going to be working towards being both Galactic Legend Ahsoka ready and Baylan ready. But right now, Baylan is just a matter of farming Shin Hati and Merrick and getting all the signal data that we need. We're good with the other relic materials. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.